Hi, my name is Andrea and welcome to my reading road, and it's time for my first TBR of the year. I'm going to use the same board that I've used previously in my TBR game, but I've exchanged the prompts for new ones that are mostly just the different challenges I'm going to do throughout the year, and I'm going to explain them when I land on them, so I won't be going over all the new prompts in it, and this will hopefully help me actually complete the challenges I've decided to take on this year, since I failed miserably in them in 2022. So I also decided to only do 5 steps on the board, regardless of how far into it I get, unlike before where I just kept, throwing the dice until I get to the middle and finish board, because last time I did that in January I got like 20 books to read and that's not feasible, so I'm sticking to 5, and if I throws a double, like I get 2 5s or 2 1s, I had to pick 2 books for the prompt I'm landing on that throw, and this so there's a possibility of more than 5 books, but I put some limited on it. So let's see how it went now in January. So I'm going to do 5 rolls and we'll see how long into the board we get. Probably not the middle, but we don't know. So roll number 1 is a 7. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is a book from my TBR card. So I guess I will be showing you that one. Most of the, if not all of the books on there are for the TBR Knockout Challenge this year. I failed it in 2022, but I hopefully will manage in 2023, and we'll see how that goes. So that will be a book for that challenge, because those are on the card. Okay. Roll number 2, we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's a new book. So anything that I would classify as new, in this case probably any of the books I last bought for myself before I went on the ban, or I got as a present after that. So that means I have 5 books to choose between, so I guess I let you know which one I pick. So we have round number, let's see, 3. And that's a 9. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is a yearly goal book. So I will be picking up one of those, and hopefully it will go better than all the other years. I never managed to complete my yearly book challenge, but I'm trying to finish as many challenges as I can this year, so I'm going to make progress at that one as well, thanks to this prompt. Now for roll number 4, to see if we get into the circle or not, and that's a 7. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we have the genre blanket pick. So I haven't started on my blanket yet, so I can technically not choose a book based on the Gender Blanket Challenge. So I'm going to just randomize one number for the number of colors I have in the genre blanket, and the corresponding genre will be the genre I pick a book from, since I haven't started it yet. But when I will started on it, it's going to be based on what row I'm currently working on. So next roll, we have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the VTR 2023 collection. VTR are for want to read, and this is one of the collection I have on my Kindle, so it will be an ebook from that collection. So the books I have on the TBR chart are Brev from J.R.R. Tolkien, the letters of J.R.R. Tolkien, as well as Factfulness and Nonfiction, Emily Henry's Beach Reads, Vandahem by Yagyasi. Then we have The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, The Curse of Dark and Lonely by Brigitte Kemmerer, I'm not sure, The Fall of Gondolin by J.R.R. Tolkien. We have Untold Heroes anthology about historical people of color, and under there is an edition of Nalepu. I can't recall the English name, but it's a book I had since I was really little and never got to hold for myself until I got older. So it's probably the oldest book I have that I have owned the longest, at least. Then we have Dorjerkel and Mr. Hyde and other stories. We have My Hero Academia, volume 28, which is the one I'm on. Alone in Berlin. It's by Hans Fallada. Oops. Then we have this one, Barfota Kvinna by Röda Mukansonga. It's take place in Rwanda, so it's a book I'm going to read for my Read the World challenge. That's probably not going to be finished this year. Then we turn, and here I have Inheritance, the last book in Aragon series, the only one I haven't read. It's so thick. Then we have The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, The Justice of Kings, The Black Tongue Thief, Shogun, and A Little Life. And here we have We Hunt the Flame, The Wolf, Murder by the Book, which is a collection of murder mysteries, or mysteries at least. This is Gustaf Fröding's samlade dikter, which is poetry by a local poet that are quite famous where I live. And then we have Den gröna cirkeln, which I believe is a thriller. I got this from my as a present from my library because I did a summer reading challenge when I was younger, and I still haven't read it, so that's why it's on here. So we'll see which one I should pick. I believe I'm going to take Murder by the Book, because I've been really into a mystery mood lately, so this will be the pick for the January TBR. So my throws were TBR card, yearly book goal, Jenny Blanket pick, which is a struggle since I haven't begun with it, as I said, and VTR 2023 collection, which is a collection on my Kindle. And well, as you saw in my TBR card pick, for the first one I picked Murder by the Book, which is a collection of mysteries, and I'm very looking forward to it since I don't know any of the authors in this, but I've been in the mood for mystery as of late, so I'm looking forward to picking this one up. Next, for new, I picked, let's see, wrong side, To Your Eternity by Toki Oima, and I got this for Christmas from my brother, and he's watched the anime first episode, so he said it was real hard hitting, so he got me the anime copy. I have not heard that much about this book except from my brother, and I'm not watching as much anime as I used to, so I haven't watched it either. So I'm looking forward to the reading experience in this one, and going to see if it is as hard-hitting and emotional as my brother told me. Then for the yearly book goal, one of the books on that list is The Blade Itself by you Abercrombie, and well, the main reason why it's on the list is because there's currently a catch-up readathon for you Abercrombie series going on, and the January-February book is The Blade Itself. Plus I had this for a while and tried to read it twice and never finish it because I haven't been in the mood, so hopefully I get through it this time with the help of this read along, and then continue with the rest of his books, because I heard many good things about it, and I probably like it when I get into it a little bit more. It's always a bit of a struggle to start new series because you have to learn to get to know new characters. So this one will be read this month, hopefully. Then for the Jenny Blanket pick, I couldn't pick, well, based on the blankets I have started it, so I did a randomizer and I got 1 out of 9 colors, and the first color I picked is fantasy because that's the most books I'm going to read are probably fantasy, so that was number 1. So for this one I will be reading Rise of the Earth Elemental, and I know absolutely nothing about this book except involves fairies. I believe they're fairies, and I picked this book up mostly to fix the prompt where you needed Earth Elemental, so that's why I have it, and luckily I have to finish that prompt this year as well, so I'm looking forward to taking that off and getting this rather short book done. I'm not the biggest fan of fairies, so we'll see how much I like it, but the introduction was a bit interesting in this book because that's the only part of it I've already read, but hopefully I finish it now, which I did last year. The fifth book, the fifth one, also a book that I've already started last year, except this one I started at the end of the year, and that's the League of Regrettable Sidekicks. And I'm a bit fascinated by some comic books, and I'm not that invested in reading them, but I find it fascinating to know these tidbits about comic books in general. And this series of books, there are 3 books, one for superheroes, villains, and sidekicks. I'm going to read the sidekick one, and I'm currently in the middle of it. I'm not halfway through yet, but it's just interesting to see all these characters that more or less been forgotten by the general public that was in comic books. Most of the heroes and the sidekicks that have been mentioned already I have never heard of before, so it's rather fun actually. And I'm looking forward to see all the weird and wacky characters that's been in comic books throughout the years, and well, what made them forgettable and why they didn't work out. And well, it was really enjoyable. So if you're fascinated by comic books, I do recommend picking this one up because I'm really enjoying it throughout. And in addition to that, I will be reading some buddy reads as well. And well, one of them is for Shogun by James Clavell. And well, I'm not going to read the whole thing in January. I'm only going to read this first part since we check its section up into different books. So that's going to be a challenge, but I'm looking forward to it. And if you don't know, this is a historical fiction, and it's part of his Asian series. So this first one is set in Japan, and you follow one Englishman that gets washed ashore and gets used in the scheming of the warlords of the period. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's all this hype and the good things I've heard about this, if it's true and if I'm going to enjoy it. The next book with the series, I believe, is set in Shanghai and or something. So all the different books in the series are set in different settings, so you could probably read them however you want, from what I know about it. But I'm going to start in the order they came out. So Shogun is first, and I'm so glad to not have to go through this alone, but reading it with other people. Then another I'm going to read is Imperium. I believe it's the first book in the Cicero trilogy, and from what I gather, it's pretty much a historical mystery book, and I've really enjoyed that niche, that type of book before, when there's a mystery in a historical setting. This one is in Rome, and well, this is another book read along by Alan of Alexandria, so I'm probably going to try to link his announcement video of those read-alongs in the description. It's the same that doing the Shogun read-along, but I'm going to jump on that. I was pleasantly surprised by Augustus by John Williams, which was another historical fiction set in ancient Rome. So I'm looking forward to reading a bit more historical fiction set in that setting and see if I enjoy it as well. Another endeavor I've taken is trying to finish the Tintin books. These are all the books I got from the library of Tintin's adventures that I haven't read yet. So they're all in Swedish. So we had a plan 714 to Sydney, which I'm almost done with. Tintin in America. King Ottoman's Spire. I'm not sure how to translate it entirely, so I don't know if that's the correct translation. The Mysterious Star and the Black Island, Tintin in Tibet, and Tintin in Alpha Constant. I have no idea what that is in English, and this one is the one I'm most nervous for, in addition to the Tintin in Soviet, which I've already read, and it's probably my least favorite of them. You can really see the time period in which it came out, and I got frustrated at some points in that sense. You don't really recognize the character that Tintin becomes, but well, that was the first book, so maybe it's not that weird. And the rest I've read, I'm pretty sure. So once I finish all these, I've actually finished the whole Tintin series, and I can remove it for my series to be read list. So I'm looking forward to that, and since I've pretty much read the Tintin comics since I was very little, and just kept rereading the ones I liked. So now I'm going to finish the ones I may have missed. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't read all of these before, but I got them. I'm going to read them and finish it. So that's my TBR list for January. I'm not sure how many it are. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Tintin. Then we have Shogun, which is 8, and then we have 5 more. That's 13 books in January. Well, in addition to Untold Heroes, Extraordinary Black Figures of History, which I'm about 1 page until I finish this one. So this will be my first read of January. So that's 14 books if I actually finish one. Well, still 13 since I won't be finishing, well, Shogun, but that's how many books I will be reading during January at least. So what are you going to read in January, and what is your first read of the year? Please tell me in the comments, and I hope you have a good day and a good continuation for the year. Bye bye!